Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and what a delight to have with us today Larry Pratt. He's the political analysis and executive director of Gun Owners of America, and you can go to gunowners.org is the website, gunowners.org. Hi, Larry. Merry Christmas. Good to see you.
Merry Christmas to you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, good to see you. Well, what do you think is going to happen to the Second Amendment and just gun ownership in general under President-elect Donald Trump?
Well, Gun Owners of America is hopeful that we're going to see some significant changes. Obviously, the attack from the Democrats, from President Obama and what would have been Hillary Clinton's presidency, that has been put on hold at least. And what we're looking at, hopefully, is a series of measures that will greatly improve the state of the Second Amendment in the United States. The first thing that we really expect to be accomplished in federal law within a couple of months, we're hoping, is to essentially look at a person's concealed carry permit and treat that the same as their driver's license. So if you've got a permit in any state of the union to carry a concealed firearm, then you would be good to go anywhere in the country. You could go to a convention in San Francisco or in Chicago or New York, and it might make a lot of anti-Second Amendment folks unhappy, but it would actually make the whole situation a lot safer. So the national recognition bill that Senator Cornyn has been promoting through several Congresses, we're hoping is going to be signed by the new president, who has indicated that he would favor something of this sort. Another thing that we think needs to go very quickly is a murderous law that has resulted in thousands.
Okay, we got a little bit of a Skype problem with him. We'll get reconnected here. Larry Pratt, political analysis and executive director of Gun Owners of America. And again, you can go to gunowners.org and check out their website. A couple of the other things we want to talk to him about when we get reconnected is about the high violence level now against law enforcement. And how many people went after guns to stop that problem and how that may impact things. And the other thing we want to get a quick take on him from is sanctuary cities. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few moments. Again, gunowners.org. We'll be right back.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome back, and sorry about that, but we got it reconnected. Delighted to have back with us Larry Pratt. He is the political analysis and executive directors of Gun Owners of America. You can go to gunowners.org. And Larry, before we got interrupted there, you were telling us about some potential legislation that could come in effect during the Trump administration. Go ahead and highlight that for us again.
Well, the first thing would be to treat people's concealed carry permits as a driver's license. So it'd be good, recognized in any state of the country. You could drive even into some of the most hostile Second Amendment jurisdictions in the country, and you would be protected by this federal law. Another one that really would make a difference in our violent crime in our country would be to remove gun-free zones as something federal law requires, particularly in schools, but also on military bases of all places. We have seen all but 4 of the mass murders in our country occur since 1950 in these gun-free zones. You would think that would be enough evidence to get even a number of very hostile anti-gun legislators to want to say, well, at least these are areas where it's not working. But that doesn't seem to be what they're really after. Lowering crime isn't apparently the objective. If it were, they'd have to take another look at Chicago, which is our most murderous city, as well as a city that has some of the worst, most restrictive gun control legislation.
You think that'll be President Obama's legacy? I mean, Chicago, the high crime rate against law enforcement officers. I mean, you can't help but tag that on to his administration.
Well, the president was very hostile with police from the very beginning. When a Harvard professor was locked out of his house, a police officer didn't know who he was and saw a guy trying to break into a house and arrested him. Well, turned out this black professor was kind of a Black Lives Matter type, very racist guy, and started mouthing anti-white, anti-establishment slogans from the very beginning. And the president took this up and said, well, the police acted stupidly in this case. We'll just have to wait to find out what really happened. Huh? His bias was evident, and he even admitted he didn't really have the facts, but that's okay. There was a white officer and a black suspect, and that's all he needed to know.
What about sanctuary cities, Larry? Where is this going?
Hopefully, sanctuary cities are something that the new president will follow through on. He campaigned against this kind of situation, this legislation that has enabled it actually more of an executive order. And it is the illegal immigrant who, if he becomes a citizen, is something like 80% of them are likely to vote Democrat, which means it's going to be anti-Second Amendment. We're hoping that Mr. Trump really carries through, makes border enforcement something that's a fact, not just something that we talk about at election time. And if he does that, and if he actually deports some illegal aliens the way President Eisenhower deported millions of people who were here in our country illegally, it can be done. It has been done. It needs to be done for the safety of the American people, especially when the politicians keep trying to take our guns away and have allowed so many illegal aliens into the country. That's an intolerable situation.
You know, Larry, it seems that since the Obama administration attacked against the Second Amendment, awareness of the Second Amendment has really grown to the point where we've seen more gun purchases, ammo purchases, and concealed permit issued than ever. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me, for one thing, that gun owners are aware of the president's involvement in higher gun sales. And I've been to a number of gun stores where they actually had a photo of the president on the wall, which might be a little surprising in view of his very, very well-publicized dislike of people having guns. Except, of course, the Secret Service that protects him. No hypocrisy there. But the caption under his photo in the picture hanging on the walls of so many gun stores has been Gun Salesman of the Year. So the gun store owners realized that it was the president's hostility that was driving people to buy guns, including quite a spike in women buying guns. Dealers don't generally tend to keep records by the sex of their clientele, but it was just obvious to them that a lot of newbies, a lot of women in particular, were coming in to buy guns. And this continued even now, the month after the president.
Well, we apologize for that, and we'll have to end it there. Again, if you want to learn more about their organization and all the things that they provide, and in particular, the legislation that they track and sponsor, it's been amazing. And you'll find a lot on their website that will deal with some of the issues that we're talking about, sanctuary cities, concealed permits, the rise of all of these things. Some have said that the president-elect, Donald Trump, has the first 2 years to secure the Second Amendment before there could be a possible change in the legislature within Congress. So the next 2 years will be critical, and it could be some of his largest obstacles to get over will be, well, the establishment Republicans in the Senate and in the House. We'll see. But in the meantime, there seems to be a fairly strong push to protect the Second Amendment across the United States. And of course, his first endorsement as a candidate came from the NRA, along with Gun Owners of America. So check it out, gunowners.org. gunowners.org is the website, gunowners.org. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.